Hey everybody, welcome back to the eBay shop. My name's Corey.
I'm Teresa.
And we are Grams and Pops Vintage, and today we're going to talk to you about how, well, at least how we plan to do less work this year for more profit.
Yep.
We have a plan. We are going to become more efficient resellers. That's how you do it, right?
Yes.
I think
Find
that's
ways
the
to find
definition.
less work, to do less work to make more money.
Yep. So there you go. We're working on efficiency. We're going to talk all about that in this video. But as usual, we do have things that sold over the weekend. We got to get out and get packed up. And we're going to start off with the first item that sold, which is what?
We sold 2 of them in 2 separate sales, but they're going to the same person. They are Savoy style vintage 30 cassette tape briefcase holder.
Are you sure?
No, I read it backwards. They're actually Savoy style 30 cassette tape holder briefcases.
Okay, so they're these things right here. They look like an old briefcase. You open them up and they hold 30 cassette tapes. And they're kind of felt lined on the top. These are actually pretty clean condition.
Yeah, they had something spilt on them at one time, but
it looks like these sat in somebody's car and had some soda spilled on them.
soda explode.
It didn't come off. We tried Goo Gone. We tried alcohol, Dawn dish soap. Like the splatter doesn't come off. So it is what it is. We did sell 2 of them. These are usually in a lot worse shape.
Yeah, remember where we got those?
Yeah, we bought these where we bought a whole lot of stuff, including all the Littenware. And we bought these specifically for the cases. The tapes, we got a couple that were worth a few bucks, but for the most part,
most of them were twangy twang.
Yeah, most of them weren't anything we kept, but these sold for how much?
$17.99 a piece plus shipping.
Yep. And
We'll
should
probably
be able
have to refund some of their shipping because we're going to combine them.
Yeah, we should be able to ship those in like a VCR box too. So
both of them together?
I think so. We have the one VCR boxes that are taller. So
okay.
All right.
It's a $17.99 day, just so you know.
Was this $17.99?
It did sell for $17.99.
Okay, we're doing this backwards today. $17.99.
It is a 2017 Playmate DWA Voltron Legendary Defender, the Black Lion. He is tested and he is working. And if you turn him on, I think I left his batteries in him. Push the button on the side.
So you have a button on the side.
On his side, other side, right there, in his chest.
Oh, I see it now. I'll bet the off button will stop you too. All right, so there's that guy, and we know he sold for $17.99.
We did.
So we're gonna clip his wings out and let him fly out of here.
Yep, so 3 sales for roughly 60 bucks.
All right, reselling efficiency. How are we gonna fix our efficiency problem?
We're going to look for items that sell for more money.
Yes.
And have a quick sell-through time.
Yep. Now, to be very clear, we don't always practice what we preach here. We're just getting started. But for the better part of a decade before we got into eBay reselling, we did kind of exactly what we're talking about doing, which is e-commerce, but we did high-ticket e-commerce. So I guess the short and sweet version of it is it takes me exactly the same amount of effort and energy to list, sell, and pack a $4 item as it does to list, sell, and pack a $500 item.
Yep.
So the higher dollar items, well, it depends on what it is. Yeah, it could be a car, and that takes a little more packing. But in general, the higher dollar item you can sell with the bigger profit margin on it, the more you're going to be efficient, I guess, because you don't have to pack up 500 orders to make the same amount of money you do packing 2 orders to make the same amount. Does that make sense?
Yes.
That was a lot of words.
And when you said there was no difference, I mean, it takes the same effort to take the pictures, to do the research,
descriptions.
To typically ship it. It just depends on what it is, because a $5 Littlest Pet Shop goes in a box this big, and
so does a $500 watch.
Well, it could, but a $500 drone goes in a box that's this big.
Yes. But you still have to pack it. And we do sell a lot of stuff. Obviously, these things are going in VCR-sized boxes that we're selling for 17, 18 bucks. It would have been just as much effort to ship a car stereo that was $400 in a box half that size. So it's effort-wise and energy-wise, it really is way more efficient to sell the higher dollar item with the higher profit margin, even if it's not, well, I say margin. It's not margin because I may only double my money on a car stereo. I may have to pay $50 for it and sell it for $100, but on something small like these tape cases, I may pay $5 for it and sell it for $17. My margin is much bigger on the small item, but I have to do a lot less work at the end of the day at the bigger, higher dollar items.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Again, a lot of words. Sorry about that. Trying to get my thoughts out. Hey.
But yes, it like you said, you know, what do you want to do more work for less money or less work for more money?
That's my goal. I think that's the goal of every business owner, employee, and employer worldwide. Do the least amount you can for the biggest reward.
Yes.
And if it's not their goal, they're not probably very good business people.
But you do still have to do the work.
Oh, there's still plenty of work involved. It's still a lot of work.
You can't just
But you
not
don't wanna,
do any effort for lots of money.
Yeah, no, we don't have that secret here. So
Yes.
that's kind of where we're going with this. High ticket eBay reseller.
Yep.
If you could get that under control the best you can, your store is going to be much more efficient. You're going to be able to send out way less packages, do way less packaging, and still hit the same profit or better profit at the end of the year.
Yeah. So like the 2 items that I just recently sourced, huh?
Yeah, we've actually, we have started this. We actually went on a mission today. I said, you have $500, go out there and find, I don't care what it is, find something we can make $50 on. Here's $500 to go do it.
But
And she
mine
got
is
2
way
of them
better.
already. Yeah.
Mine are way better than $50.
She found 2 of them that we could make well over 50, and they don't cost anywhere near 500.
Nope. One cost 50 and one cost 40.
Yep. And that's something you got to kind of plan for when you're getting into this mindset of higher ticket reselling. You have to be able to
Pay up.
you have to be able to pay up a little bit. We're actually going on, this morning I was on Marketplace and I was filtering by things that cost $100 and more. I wasn't even looking at the less expensive ones. You should, I'm not saying ignore those, but for my initial search, I was searching in the $100 plus range. And we'll talk about why here in a little bit, but yeah, you have to be willing to pay up a little bit if you're going to get into the higher ticket stuff.
And that's something that some resellers, even once they've been doing it for a long time, they're
struggle.
so used to just paying that $1 to $5 that they don't even think about paying out the 40 or $50.
I think garage sale resellers, which is kind of what we are, we're a garage sale reseller. Most of our inventory comes from garage sales and thrift stores and things like that. We train ourselves to become notoriously cheap.
Yes.
So it's a hard habit to break, but I think it's one worthwhile breaking.
It is.
So, all right,
I
let's
have
look
started already.
Yes, we have started already. Let's look at what's sold next.
How about these? In our storage unit, our rich guy storage unit, that's what I'm going to call it from now on. We had a lot of Robert Graham stuff. A lot of it was used. Actually, I'm pretty sure 90% of it, 95% of it was used.
Yeah, almost everything.
In there, though, were some brand new Robert Graham socks.
These guys here, they're like Argyle. Is that Argyle?
Yes, they're Robert Graham cotton brown Argyle dress socks.
Almost like a camo Argyle. It's kind of hillbilly high end.
Sure,
So-
but they still have the tags on them. They've never been
do.
worn. They have the, if you move them around,
They got the
little
stuff
piece
in
of
them. Yep.
fat paper in there.
What's a pair of socks like that run you?
$24.99.
Ooh, and
Plus shipping.
It's gonna be some happy feet. I've never had a $24 pair of socks on my feet. I should put them on, just feel it.
Are you sure your military ones didn't cost $24?
I
Yes,
know
they
they
did. Okay. In our last video,
We talked about pants.
we talked about pants, and the guy bought 2 pair of pants.
We have more.
I have 4 more pair of pants.
I'm not gonna grab them all, but I will
Just
grab one.
Grab one. Oh, grab the orange. No, you should grab the orange ones.
Well, I don't want to. These ones are ugly enough.
Okay,
They're
so
here. We have all kinds. So this is what we're dealing with. Slacks,
Okay.
not pants, right? Is that the right word?
they are dress pants. So these ones are 100% wool. They have pink on them. They're gray, black, and pink.
Plaid. Would that be plaid?
Checked.
Checked.
They're not plaid.
Checked. Verified.
Those ones, right there specifically, sold for $30.
Okay.
We had another pair. Those ones are Zanelle Bennett.
We don't have to do all that.
Ooh, but the next one is the one I can't pronounce his name. Ermenegildo. That dude. Zegna. His sold for $35, $34.99. Then we had 2 more pair of that first brand that sold for, let me look real quick, $35.99 and $26.99.
There you go.
So 4 pair of jeans for like $100 and some dollars.
Sometimes dress pants can be worthwhile.
I said jeans.
Jeans,
Those are
pants,
not jeans.
slacks, whatever they are. These, again, I'm not sure if we saw a rack of these hanging up at a garage sale, we would even look at them. Even now, we probably wouldn't.
I know better brands what to look for.
But I could see why there's such a push for clothing sellers. I could see why clothing sellers go after clothes because they take no room. They're easy to sell. And there's some really expensive brands out there. But I still like clothes. I will still never be a clothing seller. We will sell what we're pushed into. Other than Sparkle Butt. Those are easy enough.
Yes. And Harley.
And Harley stuff. Well, maybe we're clothing sellers after all.
No, because if you go through our entire inventory, there are less clothes than everything.
Yeah. And I would say even these ones at the $35 a pair would be at the very low end of what I would consider high-end products for being a high-ticket eBay reseller.
Yep.
We're looking for stuff we can make $50 plus profit on. Is kind of where I would like to be. Everything we sell is not necessarily $50 or up, it's $50 profit. So even if it's a $400 item, after all the fees and everything, I want to walk away with at least $50.
I like the $4 items that I walk away with $50.
Me too. And we will try and find those,
But yeah, sometimes finding stuff like that though.
Finding stuff is the trick. And when you're looking for stuff like that you could pull $50 or more on, you're looking at higher ticket items just by default because you got to hit at least the $50 market profit plus. So it does make it more difficult, but you have some advantages too because when you're sourcing higher ticket items, generally speaking, you have more room to negotiate.
Yes.
A lot of the sellers have a lot more wiggle room built in when you're dealing with a $100 to $200 item.
Well,
and they deal more.
And we did. So, example, that drone.
Yep.
They wanted $100 for it. We said we'll give you 75, and he took it.
Yep.
And then we sold it for $500.
Yeah. So he took $75 off right off the bat, no questions asked. We didn't even try to get it, or 25. Math. I wish he would take 75, but he $25 off something just immediately without question.
Yep.
You don't get that on your lower end items.
And
they're not taking a quarter of the price off just because you ask usually. So there is more wiggle room. And $25, we've sold 1 million products already that we don't make nowhere near $25 on.
Nope.
And we just added $25 more to our profit margin on that drone simply for asking.
I think we did too on the, what was that thing? The PSP?
The PSP,
no, it wasn't PSP.
What are the Switch?
A Nintendo Switch. Yeah, we got a pretty good deal on that one too. So,
and it was just for asking, basically.
Yeah, and the two, so we were talking in the last thing about the 2 items that I got. He had the one listed for $80. Mm-hmm. And I went in and said, would you take 50?
Yep.
And he did. The other one, I think she had it listed for
50
or 60, and I think I got it for 40. So just ask. The most they do is tell you no.
Yeah, and that's the great thing. To get that $50 product, the higher price the item is, the more they're usually willing to move in terms of dollar amount. And you just have to get really good at focusing on the profit that's coming. Get that profit above $50 or more, and not so much on what you're spending on it or what the actual value is. You have to focus more on what the profit is going to be.
Yep.
So as long as you're meeting your profit goal and you can afford it and it's a good item, then it should be a no-brainer. Now, I will say not everybody has the money to just go dump on $200, $300, $400 items.
Yep. So you got to start out small. So if it's one item, so say you list, I don't know, some people have different listing goals or whatever it is. If you pick one item out of your 20 that you list in a week, and then slowly build that up as you make more money.
Well, we didn't start out with enough to go over and buy $200, $300 items either. I mean, we're selling socks for crying out loud.
Yeah, but they're $25 socks. Well, in those ones, I mean, if you take everything that we have in our storage unit that we bought, those are probably like a quarter.
Yep. So we do sell a lot of low-end items. We started small. We built up a little bit of capital to where we're at the point now where we can start doing this. We can start actively looking for higher dollar stuff, and we're not ignoring the lower dollar stuff.
No.
I mean, if I see something I'm going to get 10x my money on and it's only a quarter, I'm still probably looking at it, and I will definitely still pick it up if the sell-through rates are there. But I'm more focused on the higher dollar, the bigger buys. That's what we've kind of moved ourselves into, or what we're actively trying to move ourselves into.
And we'll still
We're
keep
not there
our,
yet.
No, and we'll still keep our bread and butter items because we do sell
100%.
those, like Barbie's Bratz, Tupperware.
I'd say anything you can find that has a good sell-through rate helps your store. If you watched our last video, your algorithm and how your store reacts on eBay depends a lot on, or at least in our mind, depends a lot on you selling things.
Yes.
And it doesn't matter high dollar, low dollar, as long as you're making sales.
Yep.
eBay's going to like you and they're going to push your items. And that doesn't matter, high dollar or low dollar. It doesn't matter what they are as long as they have the sell-through rate. So we will always grab those. But we're transitioning slowly. That sounds weird in the current climate, doesn't it?
You can transition.
We are slowly moving ourselves into a high dollar eBay reseller is kind of where we're trying to push to.
Yep.
Let's see. What else we got that actually sold?
So, in one of our previous videos, we did some live listing while we was on there.
Oh, you know what? That Voltron thing was live
Oh, he
listed
was too.
wasn't
I
it?
forgot about that. He was. So this one sold, and we didn't know what to list it for because the sold comps and stuff were all over the place.
Yeah, from like $15 to
$400.
So,
But we got an offer on it. It is a solid brass gold golf bag.
yep,
I
like pin holder.
didn't even
pencil
put that
holder?
in there.
You didn't?
No, I put solid brass golf bag holder.
I don't think that's going to hold any golf bags.
6 inches tall, made in Korea.
There you go. Well, it's sold, and it is kind of heavy duty, but we'll get that shipped out. What it sell for?
$32.
There you go. That was good profit. That was in a box. I think we talked about it in the last video. That was in a box. Well, not the last video. A previous video. It was in a box with other stuff we bought in a box lot.
Yep.
So we maybe have a dime to a quarter in that tops. All right, this next one you're not going to be able to see, and it's in a noisy bag.
Yep. These
This
were
guy
Corey.
here. Well, we bought a whole collection of them from a garage sale here in town.
You did.
It wasn't a garage sale. It was a Facebook Marketplace thing, wasn't it?
I think it was Facebook Marketplace.
So it was a whole case just full of them. We've been selling them for almost a year.
Last summer.
Yeah, they were super slow. They didn't sell fast,
Some of them sold really fast.
but we did get a bunch of them sold. We made our money on these for sure. But I don't know if I saw a big box of Beyblades, if I would pick them up again. They're just very slow sellers. So that one sold for how much?
That one sold for $13.99. So how do you keep yourself from getting in trouble buying the high dollar items?
Yeah. When you start peeling out the checkbook and knocking $200, $300, $400 things out, you are moving into a new risk category.
That gives me anxiety.
It does.
Even though I didn't
a lot of
have
people.
any qualms knocking out $900 to buy 180 things of Lamac or Department
I think it
56
was
stuff.
because it was stuff you liked, but it was also stuff we had researched. So
Yes, we did
I think
research.
the point is you have to mitigate the risk somehow. You have to be careful when you move in to higher ticket sales because you're spending a lot more money and the risk is higher. So one, do your research. I mean, I think do your research is the bottom line. You have to make sure that you're not on a Vero list. I know we just recently heard a horror story of somebody buying a bunch of parts for a lot of money and then finding out that they're basically Veros. Well, they're not Veros. It's just the manufacturer doesn't want you selling them because you weren't on the authorized dealer list, or you find out that the items you bought are a Vero even though there's other people selling them on eBay.
That is so frustrating.
Yep. So you got to be really careful. Do your research. Go check the Vero list if you're going to spend that kind of money.
Yep. Also, make sure the items sell. Don't go spend $400 on an item that there are 50 of them listed and there are 2 sold in the last 90 days.
This is Teresa's kryptonite. Sell-through rate is Teresa's kryptonite. She gets excited when she finds something and she'll look it up and you go, ooh, the lowest one's listed for like $100. And then my same question every time is what?
What did it sell for? How many have sold?
Or does it sell?
But I did that research on my 2 items I picked up recently.
She did. Yep. We are getting better at this. But yeah, I'm way more detailed focused on the sell-through rate. She's way more detailed focused on
How much?
Right. So, so we do make a good team. I'm glad we're both here because without the other one, either one of us would probably get ourselves into trouble buying. But yeah, do your research. Make sure you got that sell-through rate.
Yeah. So
Super
don't just go
important.
blow money because we told you to go blow money.
Yeah, we're to be clear, we're not telling you to go blow money.
No. We're telling you to do your research,
Buy
and buy
smart.
good things.
Yep,
Is that the right answer?
that's the right answer for me.
Okay.
All right, what else sold?
Slowly, we're getting rid of the jewelry that Corey purchased.
We made our money on that jewelry. We could throw the rest away right now and we'd still be
You
ahead.
paid $60 for a couple of those containers
I
at the
know, but
Goodwill.
we're way ahead on it.
I don't think so. We'll see. I might have to go do some
We
math.
can do the math. I know we're ahead on it.
60, 60, 60, 50, and 40.
And we sold a few of those little jewelry pieces in the beginning for 40, 50 bucks a piece. We're way ahead on it.
Okay, so our jewelry that we sold is a vintage abalone inlay, alpaca, Mexico.
That said abalone. Like, is there an E on it?
Yes, but I don't think it's abalone.
Like bologna?
I don't know how it is. Abalone.
My bologna has a first name.
It's a butterfly brooch pin.
It is. It looks like this. It looks like mother of pearl almost.
They're shells.
They're shells.
I think it's shell.
It's a bologna shell. That's it?
Yep.
That sold for how much?
$14.99 free shipping.
There you go. Make sure you include that one when you're seeing how far ahead we are on jewelry.
Yeah, okay. Oh, I was so excited for this next item to sell. You can take one out.
This fits in our high ticket item category, doesn't it?
It does. Ooh, that's dusty on the top. Right on the tip. Okay, so these came out of our storage unit. So I went through for an entire day, did research on all of these shoes because
Those are nice.
90% of them are made in Italy.
Allen Edmonds, is that what brand it is?
That is an Allen Edmonds pair of shoes. They are walnut brown leather brogue derby dress shoes.
Yep.
I had to do some research on the terms that they use for this stuff.
Seems like a weird shoe to wear to a demolition derby, but
those, and all of them were really large sizes. Like they're 11s and 12s.
Yep.
Most of them were 12s.
and these came in individual.
They get their own
Like
little storage
each
bag.
one gets its own storage bag and shoe tree that goes in it to keep it open.
Yeah, I did sell them with the shoe trees because I
Yep.
have no use for them. So
And those sold for how much? Did they get both of them?
no, they only bought one.
How much did those sell for?
Each one cost $50.
Each one
So they paid $100 for that pair of shoes.
paid $100 for the pair of shoes.
I was jumping for joy.
And it
I
was
had
a
them listed at
combo
120,
deal.
so it wasn't even a combo deal. They get buy one, you get the second one
They
for the
get
same
both
price.
shoes. They get 2 bags and they get 2 shoe trees. So it's
Yep.
a combo deal. $100.
$100. Oh, I was so excited
That's a
when
good
those
deal.
sold. Oh,
All right.
did you say, "Are you all right"?
I said, all right. I'm not all right. All right, so just like in the last video, we're going to give a little bit of a disclaimer in this one. We understand this high-ticket eBay reseller thing might not be for everybody.
Yep.
We understand that a lot of it is very dependent on where you are in your area and your sourcing and your resources in terms of money and everything else. So this isn't for everybody. We're not saying that. What we are saying is this is one way to make your eBay store much more efficient. You're going to do a lot less work for way more money by buying better items that sell for a higher profit. So, I mean, it's very logical. It's very obvious once you say it out loud. There's no magic behind this. There's no super secret here. It's just we started here and now we want to get here. And that's kind of the move we're making.
Yep. It's not for everybody. Don't take our word for it. Don't just go out and buy $400 items. Do your research.
Yep, lots of research, but in general, that's kind of that's the direction we're taking our store. Again, not there yet.
No.
We still very much suck at this. We're still, we start here, we're trying to get here, we're probably just a little bit here. We're moving in that direction, but that is the direction we want to move. We want to get to buying higher ticket items. We've started doing that. We'll be picking 2 of them up today, and we'll be doing a lot more of it going forward.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So we got a couple more items that need to go out yet. What's the first one?
something that we did a good job on picking. We sold some 1988 Topps football cards, the white pack, cello pack cards.
Yep. These are a good example. We bought a bulk buy of these, which is great.
We started out with one box.
We did,
2 boxes.
One case of these.
Yes, 2 case, yes.
Which was also a high dollar buy, and there was some risk, and we didn't do our research as well as we should have, but it turned out okay. But in the end, yes, it was me. I did do some research. I just didn't do all of the research I would do again if I had to do the same thing.
Would you buy them again?
I would buy them again, yep. And we actually spent $2,800 for a truckload of these, like a pickup load. Front seat or back seat, back of the bed, stacked up, strapped down.
Yes.
And
they threw some in too because they didn't know how to count when they were putting them in our truck.
Yep. And these have been selling. Did this one sell full price?
No.
This was an offer?
Yep.
So what did this box sell for?
$140.
$140. And we had hundreds, literally hundreds of these boxes. I think we spent $2,800 for that truckload of cards, and we've made our money. I think we're over 20 grand in the profit on these. But that was a very high ticket buy. It was a lot of risk. But by the time we bought this truckload, we had already sold a case and a half of them.
Yep.
So we mitigated our risk by having some experience there.
Yeah, because what did the wax pack sell for?
The wax packs were selling for like $85 a box, and we sold through a whole case.
I thought they were more than that. And the last thing that we sold today was a cassette tape. We sold the 1997 Biohazard live in Europe, no holds barred.
All right, so yep, that's it right there. It's Biohazard, no holds barred, and it's in pretty clean condition. Even the case itself is not terribly scratched up. The artwork's still good. So what did that one there sell for?
$10.99 plus shipping.
$10.99 plus shipping. Not bad for a cassette tape. All right, I think that's it. And we've got some work to do because we've got to do some running around tonight to pick up products, some high ticket products.
Can I ask a question of them?
Sure.
Tell us. I'm just curious because I know.
You have to ask them that.
I know what the most is that we've paid for a single item to resell.
Was it the cards?
That's not a single item though.
It was a single purchase, I guess.
Because technically it was $5 a box.
Yeah.
So that's not the most we've ever spent on a single item.
What is the most we ever spent on a single item?
I don't know.
You just said you knew.
I don't.
You liar. We'd have to look.
I would have to look because I don't know. I know like these $40, $50, the ones that we're going to today are probably up there.
Yeah.
But what is the highest you paid for an item?
That's a good question.
And what was your turnaround on it?
Yep.
Like you paid $50 for it, you sold it for $100. How quickly?
Yeah, that's a good question. What is, if you've done your research or you know the item, you know the resale's there, what's the most you've spent so far on a single item that you flipped or turned around? I know we've had some fantastic items that sold for a ton of money. I don't know that we've broke loose and spent a ton of money.
I think the most expensive we spent was on that game system. The one we just talked about. The Nintendo Switch.
Oh, on the Switch?
Yeah, because we paid.
It might have been. We paid up for
that one.
Yep.
And the drone we paid $75 for and turned it into $400.
And we didn't mitigate our risk very good because we didn't know gaming systems and it was locked. And luckily we happened to find the guy that sold us it at the same yard sale later.
Yep.
Like the week later and got the codes and stuff to unlock it. But we could have really aided on that.
We could have.
So,
because everything we read was so hard to get it unlocked, especially since it wouldn't have been a big deal if it had just the password on it, but this one had the parental.
Attached to an account on parental controls.
Yes,
yep.
And it can only be opened on the website.
Yeah, we got really lucky on that one. We didn't do our research as well as we could. So yeah, mistakes can cost you a lot more when you're doing this style than when you're going to garage sales and spending a couple bucks. I know a lot of times we've gone to garage sales and say, pick it up. What's the worst going to happen? It's $2. We'll throw it away. Mm-hmm. I don't think you want to do that when it's $200.
No, I would have an anxiety attack.
Yeah, I wouldn't like it. I'd be like, every time that happened, I'd be like, well, that's 2 boxes of football cards I got to sell to make up.
He does that all the time. When we first started selling those, he always said, well, that'll cost us 6 boxes of football
Yeah.
cards.
I kind of know now, like if we want to go down to a reseller event, we figure it out in football cards. Like I need to sell 10 packs of football cards to go to this event.
The reseller event we were just at by the time you guys see this video.
Yep. So I think that's it. You guys let us know what you think of this method. I think it is a good method to do less work and make more money at the end of the day. I don't think it's a magic pill. I don't think you could do it just by snapping your fingers. I think it's going to take some work to get to that point, but I think anybody could, no matter your area.
You could.
I think you can find enough to make improvements in what you're doing and do less work than you're doing right this moment for more profit than you're making right this moment. So you let us know your thoughts on it. We're going to get out of here. We'll see you next time.
Hasta la vista, baby.